We have a director for Black Adam.
We do.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Jean-Colette Serra?
Jean-Colette Serra. They're working on that movie Jungle Cruise together. Jean-Colette Serra, I had a pleasure, working with and a lot during the Joel Silver days.
Really? Right.
Very good director. He did. I think he was doing. Wasn't House of Wax? It was House of Wax. I think it was one of the first ones that he did.
Is that the Paris Hilton one?
Yeah.
She got stuck in.
Yeah. So he was very, and then he started doing a lot of stuff with Silver, but he was very close with Eric Olson, who I worked with, and Ethan Irwin, and
he's done a bunch of horror stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, he did The Shallows, and he's done a lot of the Liam Neeson movies. I think
Commuter and the other one.
Was it not Unbroken?
Unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Yeah. Is that what it is? No, Unknown.
Commuter, Run All Night,
Non-Stop. Orphan. Orphan was the big one. Orphan was the one that we worked on because that was with Eric. It was Eric Olson's like baby. Orphan, and him and Jean-Colette Serra.
What's
very
Orphan about?
Orphan is this little girl gets adopted by this family. She starts terrorizing them, and the spoiler for those who've never seen it, turns out like she's like she looks like a child, but she's actually like a grown woman. And it was actually a really good reveal. What's going on, Roxy?
I'm looking at his IMDb.
Jean-Colette Serra. It's right there. It's right there.
It's right in front of you.
So The Shallows was one, The Commuter, Jungle Cruise, and then Black Adam, because he was circling around something else. I forget something big. I think it was Suicide Squad. It was Suicide Squad.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah. It was Suicide Squad. He was getting very close to doing that before they brought Gunn on.
Nonstop is what I meant. Unstoppable is that one with the train and Denzel Washington.
That's such a good one.
That's a really
Unstoppable.
good movie. That's
right. But what is the process here? Does The Rock just love working with him, so he brings him on?
I'm assuming that's probably a big thing. I mean, because the other thing was he was, from what I remember hearing, is that he was very close. I think he was offered Suicide Squad, and he chose Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
The first Suicide Squad.
No,
the sequel.
This one before they were talking to James Gunn, they offered it to him, and it was between either taking that or Jungle Cruise, and he chose to go work with The Rock, and that probably spoke volumes to The Rock, obviously, and The Rock probably.
I also think there was a lot of directors that didn't want to touch Suicide Squad too. Or the Suicide Squad.
There were, for sure, like at top. So Jean-Colette Serra turns down Suicide Squad 2 for Dwayne Johnson's Jungle Cruise. Adam Shitwood reported on this in 2017. So July 31st, 2017. Wow. So we're looking at...
my birthday.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Cody, you're such a Leo.
So, he is. So
we talked about this on Movie Talk on Friday briefly. I was reading the breakdown of what Black Adam is. It's kind of like the anti-Shazam.
The villain.
Yeah.
Did you see Shazam?
I have, and I really liked it. I actually really enjoyed it.
So there's a scene in Shazam, and correct me if I'm wrong. I know that people will. That when in the beginning of the movie, what do they call this? Was it the sins or the
seven dead?
Seven.
The seven.
Is it seven?
Yeah.
Okay. So those sins, when they said that they had chosen their champion at one point, and their champion was Black Adam.
Gotcha. He's like Egyptian in the comics.
Is that what he is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but either way, so he's like the opposite of Shazam.
Right.
So,
like he comes from like ancient times, Egyptian, and like exactly.
So, I mean, he's been.
They're supposed to like look very similar, but just be one is evil, one is good.
Yeah.
Right.
The Rock has been on the. Attached to this movie for such a long time.
Crazy.
I want to see The Rock play. I mean, The Rock's played a villain kind of before when he was in Doom. Remember, the reveal was that, but he's never. But not the Terminator role. You know, like when Schwarzenegger came out in '84. Like people advised him against doing that role because it's like no, you just did Conan. You can't be a villain now.
Yeah.
And it helped his career out tremendously.
That's one of those movies, like the original Terminator, that I wish I could go back in time and be around when it first came out in theaters to hear the reaction, like the word of mouth from people when they first saw it. Because it's sort of like Star Wars. People thought it was going to be a flop, and then it changed the world. Terminator, same thing. I remember like my dad telling me that he took my mom on a date night to see Terminator, and they both walked out like, what was that?
Well, Terminator also because.
Yeah, in a good way. Like, holy cow, that movie's crazy.
Well, it was revolutionary for sure, and it was made for, I don't know, like $2 million or something ridiculous back in the day, if that. And the thing with the back then in like '84, it's like people forget how powerful VHS was.
Oh yeah,
like VHS was powerful because like, you didn't have to necessarily have a big the opening weekend thing, that's like today, right? Like the opening weekend thing, like it would build and like you said, word of mouth. But then I remember seeing it on VHS, and it started really gaining popularity through like HBO and everything too. That's how movies used to really get popular back then, not just their opening weekends and having big theatrical runs.
We had one of those uncles that really didn't know like what you could and could not show kids. So he showed my brother and I Terminator when I was like 7.
Oh my God.
And my brother was
me.
9. And we both loved it, though. We both thought it was like the coolest effing thing in the world. Because we didn't like horror movies, but I don't think the Terminator is a horror movie. I think it's just like an action.
The first movie is very horror. The first one, it's very horror.
Okay.
I mean, it's even pitched that it was like but my favorite line that of course when I saw it I was like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole.
Yeah.
When he's sitting down and his skin is rotting and he's pulling stuff out and hey buddy, what do you got, a dead cat in there? And he's scanning through the options of what to respond to. Fuck you, asshole. All right. Guy walks off. So good.
It's a very like if you were to pitch that movie today, if Terminator had never existed, and you pitch it as this like time travel horror with all this kind of a thing, I think it doesn't get laughed out of the room. But as soon as they pitch Schwarzenegger in that role, they're like, oh, so we got The Rock coming in for this thing. This is what's going to sell it. Same with Schwarzenegger. They were like, this is.
Well, yeah, but the thing is today though, like because of movies like the Terminator, today every genre movie is like, whoa, maybe it could be something big.
The next Terminator.